Hello guys, sorry for the small issue. We are live from the 5ers Trading Room. So hi everyone, happy to be with you today as usual on Tuesday. Ruben from the 5ers. How are you guys today? Let me know on the chat if the sound is good, if you see me, if everything is set up properly. We had a small issue again, so again sorry for the small delay. Hi Jon, nobody keep safe. Yeah, I'm there, don't worry. Hi Andy. Hi Raj. Okay. Sound is good, camera good. Okay, so we're good to go. Everything is good. Okay. Okay, great. We have some feedback. Thank you. Hi Bob. Hi Mark. Thank you. Thank you guys. Jan. Hi. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, let's move directly into the market. I think we're not going to waste any more time. I had an interesting position this morning that I closed. So actually I don't have any open position. I will explain again what was my entry and why I entered the market at that time. So yeah, let's move on straight. Okay. Yeah, the camera is not here. I will just hide it. I'm here. Oh, it's very difficult to manage all the things here. Okay, here we are. Okay, I think we can focus now on the market. Perfect. Again, sorry guys for the delay, for the small adjustment. Let me talk directly about the market and what I did this morning. It also put a little bit AC, which is very hot here in this room. Okay. Here we are. So pound yen, this is something I looked past, let's say the last week was very difficult to make anything here. Probably we identified together last week this zone, which actually we can see the waves here are coordinating together. We have this first wave here. So basically here there was no big zone. Only maybe this zone which can be related to the last point. So here we have resistance, breakout, support, and again support. Even we break through very strongly. Again, this zone is still holding from what we see on the last months. Again, first touch here, we touch again. High volatility movement, stochastics below 20. So this was a movement we identified last week. I didn't enter the market especially because I found this spot probably when the market already bounced up. But today, which I was in front of my screen, we have also this resistance. So basically here the market is making, let's say, ping pong between the lower and the higher key zone. And the key zone are not small. Let's say the difference between the top and the high is actually here 3%. So we have a lot of volatility in pound yen recently, which according to my strategy and how I view the market, leads me to take a hedge actually here. And this is what I did. So I go to the H4 chart, and then again you see guys, we high movement on the upside, top of Bollinger Bands, stochastic starting to cross above here, and we have just here a sell indication for me. I already exit the market like I told you. If I can see actually the trade history of that, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Okay, so I open a sell here, which coordinates good with the H4 chart, and then I exit at the middle of the Bollinger Bands. Okay, I don't want to hold it longer time, as in the H4 we already reached to the middle. Again, I go to lower time frame, and then you see on the M5, I think, yeah, it's here when I exit the market. On M5 we started to make this type of small consolidation, bounce a little bit up and then going down, so this is why I exit the market here. So this was a nice move from this morning. Again, from here I don't know what to expect. Here on the daily chart there is some space to go on the lower side, so we have actually some space to go and at least go back to the middle. Okay, so if I look at the H4 chart and say, okay, what is the bigger say the bigger time frame and bigger window here, is definitely the blue line, which is the average between the top and the bottom of the big range that we created here. Okay, so actually I exit a little bit before I had the, let's say, an important exposure, so this was for me a small day trade that I already exited. So this is the first trade, quite interesting. We'll see if we have any other spots today in order to enter the market together. Let's check it. What is on the S&P? What's going on? We have yeah, maybe we can wait the opening of Wall Street. I think it's going to be interesting. We have this zone here, which for me would be a reaction zone, key zone. A lot of consolidation. Then we break out on the upside. We make a new high actually last week in the S&P. But yeah, if we have more volatility and we go back straight to this point here, I will definitely make something. Hi Scruffy, good to see you here. Let me read a little bit the chats. Pound bearish, hi from Italy, hola Guatemala. Yeah, people from all over the world all the time. Actually, we are only 50 people, but 50 different countries at least. Okay, let's move to pound dollar. I think it's also a key pair for Gary. Let's see what we can have here. Yeah, basically I didn't find any spot last week to make a trade here on pound. Actually, we just reached the top and we test multiple times, so here was definitely a key spot. And yeah, look at the daily chart where actually the market here from here to here, which is let's say 500 pips movement up with at least no retracement. We touched the top of Bollinger Bands. Stochastic starting to cross, so we have still a lot of space to go to the average, which I believe is something we can expect. Again, if I want to open to expect something right now, I will not make any open trades here. You see the market already react from the top. However, we can maybe, yeah, actually here the market is respecting this zone. Yeah, maybe it's an interesting buy here to have. Again, if I follow my intuition here, there is two contradiction and two opposite sides that I want to trade. First of all, I go on the daily chart and I say, okay, the market already respect this zone, which is the resistance zone. Supply, the market react. The second thing is that, okay, if I go to lower time frame, I go to H1, here is probably a spot where I can open a buy to expect the market to at least rise back. So when I have this type of scenarios, I prefer to put it aside and say, okay, here I don't want to go. Let's say on the daily chart I have a selling opportunity, and on the H1 I have a buying opportunity. There are two contradictory signals for me, I will put it aside. Okay, this is exactly what's happening here, and that's why I will not make any trades. Cool. Ciao. Hi, all. Hi, hi everyone. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's move to gold. I think we had also interesting analysis last week. Gold is at least not making any retracement yet. This is why I'm not touching this pair yet. Very difficult to open, let's say, to reinforce a buy here, which I believe at some point the market will make a retracement to the downside. When we reach straight into a big key zone, which is actually the top, let's say the higher level of gold at any time is around 2000, and we are very close. So again, this is how I view the market. I will not make any trades around here on gold. Of course, guys, if you already open, let's say, on a scaling basis buy on gold, you already have a large profits which you can actually manage and continue with the trend. But here for me, quite very difficult to make something. The market is for me overextended here, and we will at least get back to a key zone very soon. I don't know which one, but of course we can identify it together. There are the key zones. Actually, we make a retest to that zone, which is interesting. We have this big zone here, so at least expecting at some point to retrace again first to this zone. We already did this last week. You see here, go back to here, and on the daily chart again at least get back to that zone again. I will not make anything here on gold. The market is way overextended. There are some fundamental reasons behind that, and I understand. It's quite understandable. Again, nothing to do here. What about dollar CAD? I want to find a spot, guys, that we can open something together. Again, a small disclaimer. I want to be clear. Any trades or any analysis I'm providing is only for an educational purposes. I'm taking my risk. Any advice I'm giving to you is not a trading advice or trading signal. So take your own responsibility in trading. Okay, dollar CAD again. Here we are, the support is this morning that we respected. Double bottom here on dollar CAD. Let's say even more than, let's say, multiple bottoms here, and the market starting to push again. We are approaching, let's say, I know that the market will probably push up from here, but this is not the good execution to enter this trade. The market already reacted. Okay, so this is too late for me to open the trade here. So that's why again I will let it go. I will find another pairs where we are actually reaching any good zone. What pairs do you trade? I'm trading recently a lot the USD currency, so it can be the euro dollar, the pound dollar, the dollar CAD, all those, you know, Aussie CAD or New Zealand CAD, New Zealand Swiss. I'd say I'm less trading those pairs. Of course, there might be some opportunity on that pairs, but I want to be focusing on the USD recently. If I show you, and I show a lot of time, many time, the dollar index chart, there is plenty of opportunity. The dollar last year was probably 15% according to inflation and CPI and all of that. And the dollar is from, let's say, the last quarter of 2022 crashing down. So we have a lot of opportunities in USD currency. That's why I'm mainly focusing on dollar currency actually. Hi Daniel, happy to see you here. I'm interested on how you are using edges on your particular trading style. I will probably disappoint you, but I'm not using any edge while trading these specific strategies. let's say using volatility and momentum. I'm not hedging my trades. Okay, so basically it's a classic way of trading, which you enter the market, probably partial entry, or maybe sometimes one full volume, depends of the signal I get, and then managing my stop loss. I'm not hedging here myself. When I was trading options, yeah, of course I had some hedgings on the market, but here it's not relevant for my strategy. Okay, let's wait the opening. The opening is on 8 minutes on US. I want to expect a retrace at least to this zone where we can open a buy. So we have to be patient. Let's wait. If we have any yeah, we have an interesting spot also here on dollar yen. Again, do you place a full position or do you enter multiples? Depends on how the market behaves. Most of the time I open partial because I'm generally waiting for the market to go to retrace. Okay, for example, here on dollar yen, if we take I don't know, this huge uptrend, I expect the market to at some point go, let's say, retrace. So I don't know, maybe open a buy here and a sell here and then a sell here and then a sell here, and then the market goes back down. And at some point I don't need to expect the market to go against me, and I will open a one position. I don't find any spot actually to enter the market, so apologize, but market already make retest moves. H4, did we test the supply on Euro CHF? It's even more interesting than a supply. I don't know if you can call this a supply. It's more like a key zones. We see on the daily chart it's actually struggling to break from the bottom point of March 2022. You see, so we are here. It can be a very interesting part on the weekly chart, though. You see, here we are starting to cross above 80 on stochastic, so momentum is losing. Touching this point, we are at the top of Bollinger Bands, and I believe that we have also this type of trend line that the market is starting to respect. I don't know. I'm not trading especially on trend line, but we see here that the market is making all the time a lower high, and here it might be the point when the market also can continue and can react. So it's a more longer term perspective because it's on daily chart, and here we look at the weekly, but definitely there is something to do here on the Euro CHF. Yes, Mark, this is good pairs to find. San James, hey Ruben, when you traded options, were you delta neutral or small negative delta? Yeah, that's a good question. We have someone that understands a little bit options here, so I appreciate. It's been a lot of time that I didn't trade options, but when I traded options, my main focus was to be delta neutral. So which means I will all the time hedge my delta, and I will be focusing on the Vega and on the Theta. It depends which strategy I use, but small negative delta or long delta, generally when you have a big exposure on options, the delta will move drastically. It will be very difficult to keep your delta zero in a matter of time, so all the time you will need to hedge your delta. So that's I I traded options. But basically my main view in options was to be delta neutral. So I traded volatility and not the delta. What do you think of pound CAD along H4? Let's move on. Okay, so you're probably looking at this zone. Yeah, we are the demand here. Yeah, that can be a good point on H4 chart. The market can again go and can continue on the upside. The fact is that yeah, and on the daily chart we are not so far, you see, from the average. Yeah, this can be a point on H1, H4. It can be an interesting buy here. So yeah, Andreas, good point. I go with you on that one. Again, I don't know if I need to wait a little bit more. That's why that if I open a buy, you see that already the market get a reaction here. We are very far from the average on H4 chart. The average is here, and the price is 160 pips below. In the market already react here. You see the pin bar and you see the H1 chart. We got a reaction. It looks like here a bullish engulfing pattern. Okay, which means okay, we start the retrace on the upside. So if you decide to make a buy here, don't open the full margin. Okay, don't open the full lot size that you're willing to go. Keep a small bullet again. If the price from here goes back against you, then you will be able to average your price. But yeah, that's a good point actually on pound CAD. Yeah, very nice spot, very nice keys on here. Okay, just want to make a small announcement, guys. Next Tuesday, so generally on Tuesday, I'm making the trading room like today. Next Tuesday will be very interesting trading room because we will change a little bit the content. I will sit with Saul and Michael, and you will be able to ask us any questions you want. So it can be on risk management, it can be on market, it can be on our hobbies, it can be a personal question. So guys, don't go too much into details, but ask anything you want about trading, about us, about the 5ers, about future projects, whatever it is, whatever it can be. You will be able to ask us. It will be very funny. You will get more details very soon into your email box. So make sure to read and to ask questions to us, and of course be there on next Tuesday. It will be very fun, and of course it will be also some type of seriousness inside of it, because we will of course talk about markets and what are we going to expect in the dollar currency and in the yen and indices. If you are in a disinflation environment today, we're going to talk about a lot of things. So yeah, this is a small announcement, and yeah, I will be happy to sit with Michael and Saul next week for doing this. Okay, let's move back to market and try to focus for the opening in US. The market just opened right now. Let's find it out. Hi Batista, thank you for the feedback. We need your live trading style. We wait for the Ontario week. Yeah, I know. I'm making actually one time a week a trading room, but again, this is my style. This is how I trade, and it's not comfortable for everyone. Don't try to do the exact things I'm doing. Generally, it's not comfortable for everyone. Try to take some insights and bring this vision into your trading. If you try to copy, let's say, other one traders, it's quite very difficult to be successful. And of course I build this time after time. It's not okay. I came one day and say, I want to trade this strategy. This is not working like that. You build your trading behavior time after time, and you arrange all the time. You remove this part of your trading style, and you add this one, and it's all the time an evolution. Yeah, there's nothing interesting here on the S&P again. I want to wait a bigger movement down. Actually, we have nothing, so let's wait. Here can be also a way of where the market can react. You see, it was the top of last week when we break out. We can actually open here first entry. That will go very slowly, just in order to fill the market and open a buy position here. Okay, so I will open a bar here. Can be actually a place when the market can react. We see stochastics going straight down to the 20. We don't have any cross here, but I believe in the M30, yeah, you see on the M30 we already have a cross below 20, which means okay, we are losing momentum from this movement. Of course, it's the pre-market. So this is the first things. Of course, if the market continue against me, I have identified these other zones. The last zones, of course, that I will be able to go in is here. That's why actually here you see definitely that, guys, I'm not doing full volume from the beginning. Okay, I'm making partial entry. So it depends of the scenarios. But here, yeah, it's quite easy to find the key zone that we had from last week. And of course, if the market flies, so I would go with it. Do you trade the same time frame for each asset, or do you have preferred time frame? I have preferred time frame, which is the M15 chart, because a lot of time and when I implement this type of behavior in trading, and I needed to backtest a lot, and I needed to practice. And on the M15 chart, it generally works let's say better than other time frame. On M1 it's quite difficult to see this type of behavior. You see, let's say it's worked actually, but let's say if you identify two zones, we have a zone here, you see here stochastics starting to cross below 20, boom, we move again to the average, again here. So again, it depends. What is good with this strategy, and I will not say this strategy, it's more an approach in the market. It's not a strategy, it's an approach that I have practice a lot of time, and that's actually how I behave. And I believe that you, Gary, maybe you can explain a little bit about your trading approach. But I think we are not so different by the strategy here, or by the vision. Okay, so first entry in the S&P, we will maybe wait for the market to make anything. Maybe we can put actually at least the stop loss to here, which is actually the full zone I'm willing to work. Yeah, let's say for me here the best scenario would be that the market goes back to this zone, and then continue and make a new high. So I will wait for it. I hope that the market will not crash to here. I don't think we don't have big numbers today. Not a lot of. I don't think we have news. Yeah, let's wait. Not far away. Okay. Yeah, that's quite the same. Key levels in place, month, week, day, and then you actually execute your zone. There's more 2 hour charts. Okay, so it's very specific approach, which means you will identify big zones and then scaling out to H1 chart and then trading from here. Okay. Interesting. I think again the approach is the same, which means like you will identify zones and on each one you will execute. Yeah, maybe here on PoundCAD we can and then you're averaging into your levels, and if wrong, stop loss will take you out. Yeah, definitely. That's actually what's going on the S&P. So identifying the zones. Here you see that the lot size is very, very small because my stop loss is probably like 3% down in the market, which is quite high. Generally in Forex I have accurate, let's say, better accuracy in entering the market, but here I know that in the S&P and then in indices generally you have pre-market, which is very low to move, and then you have US markets, Wall Street opens, and then you have volatility. So that's why I'm actually behaving differently by looking at the S&P in opposite to Forex pairs. We'll catch up with you, Ruben, and take you through it. Yeah, of course, why not? I would be happy to discuss with you, Gary. US PMI in 10 minutes, you will get a reaction for sure. Okay, so that's good. If you have a reaction, no matter which side, you see I have enough space for the market to move, okay? Of course, if the market goes down 4% on a PMI and take my stop loss, it would be scary for everyone, not only me, but yeah, if you have any reactions generally on PMI or any high impact news, the market is probably moving 0.5%, 1% to the, let's say, positive directions. So let's check. What on the Euro USD? Don't think we have anything interesting already for. It's quite very difficult actually to make anything on the Euro USD also from past week. Yeah, the only interesting zone was, I think when it was, yeah, it was beginning of January when we touch around this zone. You see all this zone here when the market react from here and then bounced, and after that nothing happens. Okay, we break these levels, and then here it's, yeah, I don't know, quite very difficult to take anything from here. Here we have an uptrend. Again, looks like very overextended for me. We have all the time. We touch 1.08. If you guys knows my biases on Euro USD, I expect at some point the market to retrace drastically. We have here stochastics above 80. We are far from the average. I don't know when and I don't know where, but at some point we're going to get down a little bit from the average. Okay, I'm not telling that the market will go back below 1, below the parity, but again, from 1.08 to 1.04, 1.03, this zone. So that's why, again, when the market is on a big bullish trend like here, I will not make a buy. Okay, definitely I will not make a buy here. The market, for me, this is expensive. S&P is moving. Difference between Nasdaq and S&P. S&P is the 500 biggest companies in the US, I think, on market value, and the Nasdaq is taking only technological stocks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the main difference. Nasdaq is only focusing on technological stocks, and that's why we actually see on 2022 that the Nasdaq's moved down, let's say, more drastically than the S&P, because technological stocks were affected a lot last year because of inflation and because of earnings which were very bad. US 30 is quite the same, guys. Dow Jones and S&P will behave quite the same, and you see okay, yeah, this is quite, you see, like, this zone on the Dow Jones that actually we just reacted is around, let me move here, this is exactly this zone, you see. So here, this zone on the S&P, actually the Dow Jones already touched this zone. Okay, bad choice for me. Maybe if I were looking at the if I was looking at the Dow Jones, I would already make a buy here. A very strong movement here. But again, we need the main difference between the Dow Jones and the S&P. So of course here is only 30 company. I don't know. I need to know again what's the description of the indices. But in terms of volatility and in terms of all the market moves, Dow Jones is much more volatile than the S&P. Of course, here one contract was 300. So it's 30,000, around $33,000 one contract. Say one, not one contract, but one unit of contract. And the S&P is only 4,000. That's why the volatility in Dow Jones is much higher. And the S&P, yeah, we didn't touch this zone. We are still struggling to move from this zone. We're going to wait. CAD yen. Let's look at CAD yen. Is this a short? Yeah, it would be difficult for me here again to make something, but here it's quite interesting what we have. You see, we have start type of support, then resistance. It can also be like that. You see, it doesn't matter if it's a trend line it's touching the tops or if it's a zone. I know some traders that use this type of line. Okay, I will not use that myself. I think there is no sense by doing that. But it's more a zone. Okay, it's only a zone. Okay, it's this zone. And here we didn't touch the zone. Even on maybe on the M30 chart we have here a reaction that we can have, and that's why here, for example, if I'm looking at CAD yen, I will also make a partial entry here. I will make a partial entry. My first entry will be here and my second will be at the top, let's say in that zone. But here we have quite a nice top here on stochastics again. The market is not, this is not actually the exact place where I want to sell the market. So again, wait a little bit, be patient, wait that the price goes into your zone and then execute. But here again, nothing to do here. Okay, let's move back to pound Aussie, pound USD. Yeah. Christopher Harrison. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if we can say that it's a head and shoulders. Let's say it was a head and shoulders when you have, for example, this first shoulder and then the second shoulder, and then we have the head. So you're definitely on the weekly chart or in daily chart. You see it very clearly. I don't know maybe how you see head and shoulders. Maybe okay, maybe on the H4 chart. Okay. Maybe so you say, okay, this is the first shoulder, this is the second shoulder, and this is the head. This is maybe what you are looking for. Again, if I look at something here, it's only this zone. You see, guys, it's only this big supply zone on H4, but also on the daily chart. Okay, nothing more, I think. And I think, yeah, the retest is quite down here. We break this zone, which is for me was, you see, let's say the buy points where I wanted to make a buy, but because we have two contradictory signal, I didn't make anything. So yeah, there is actually a high chance again that the market goes back into the average, which can be around, let me just get rid of all the line again. Okay, this will be the average price on daily. So high chance that here the target will be around 1.2165 here on the pound. Okay, S&P. Dow Jones, nice reaction. Yeah, S&P looks like, I think it's probably the PMI. Let me check on Forex Factory. Do we have a number or not? Yeah, flash service PMI. Flash service PMI a little bit above than the forecast that we have. This is probably why we have buys, let's say some people that buy here is here 46 instead of 45. Let me just show you this. Okay, here PMI flash services PMI in USD 46.6 instead of 45, which is a better than expected PMI, better than expected. This is why actually market is actually pushing bullish and risk on. Again, don't be so greedy and don't make a buy after the news. Generally, I don't like to trade the news, and there are some reasons. But yes, of course, if you look at the macro environment and you say, PMI is good, so I'm going to buy. Trading is much more difficult than doing that. But yeah, you see that, okay, price, let's say PMI is better than expected. We have algo that came here, make a buy, and again, okay, we can definitely have a reaction to the downside here. M1, you see a lot of rejection here. The market is struggling to break this first zone on the M1. We'll see if it's continue or not. Yeah, it can be also here. Hold the pre-market. You see, hold the pre-market, creating a downtrend. We touch actually this zone. We'll see if the PMI is better than expected. Trade aftermath far safer. Yeah, definitely agree. I don't trade the news. I like to understand what's happening. I tried doing that one time. I traded oil in options during 1.5 years. And all the time we were waiting each Wednesday at, I don't know, it was 4 p.m. our time, the crude oil inventories, which generally, should move the market drastically. And we were a bunch of traders in the room, and we say, yeah, okay, if the inventories is 5 billion barrels, 5 million barrels, and the inventories is goes out and it's 1. Okay, so the price should break, like should goes up around 1%. And generally, this type of things, it's happening the opposite completely. Okay, so here again, you can have even you have a big PMI number, far better than expected, the price can crack down. So that's why again, it's quite very difficult to few minutes after the news get an understanding of what's going on. But again, if the price is big, so let's say for CPI, if I remember, when we had a CPI maybe like a few months ago in 2022, we expected like 6%, and the CPI was 8%, which is crazy. So of course here the market will crack down 2%, 3% in a matter of minutes. Yeah, so this is only to explain the understanding in trading news. Bitcoin is overstretched on daily, good time to short. Batista, again, I will not advise on any crypto. I have a long-term portfolio. I don't know, I don't like to trade on daily, let's say day trade cryptocurrency. It's very volatile, very difficult. It's again today very difficult to align any let's say any explanation of why Bitcoin should go up or why it should go down. What we know from the past years is that crypto is very related to US indices, let's say to Nasdaq. When we see Nasdaq crashing down and make, I don't know, crashing down 30% during 2022, so Bitcoin also moved from $70,000 to we touch last month 15,000. Think, let's say 16,000 in Bitcoin. So this is actually today in crypto the main, let's say the main fair and the main explanation of how the market behave. Of course, you have technical analysis and you have volatility and volume and stuff, but if we try to make the window bigger and try to understand what's going on, it's quite very difficult. And of course, I agree, today Bitcoin is quite overstretched. We can go back from 23, we are actually 23,000 in Bitcoin today. It can go back to 20,000. But from 20,000, okay, buyers will come and then push the price up again. So it's always a ping pong game between buyers and sellers. Yeah, it's quite here. We have a nice spot. Again, we need to wait. We'll probably make a buy limit here. Probably not 0.01, maybe 1.025. Oh, sorry, we already have 0.05. Maybe probably will increase a little bit the lot size after. Okay, so this is what I will do right now. Only that, and I will let you trade. Okay, guys and girls, thank you for being with me until the end. Appreciate your time being with me. Not a lot today, actually only small position on S&P. Again, be patient. We are actually in a big key zones in the USD currency. We can have some bearish momentum in the pound USD and euro USD and so on. So be careful, stay on point. Identify your key zones and execute your trades. Again, a small reminder, next Tuesday we're gonna have a different trading room. I will sit with Sao and Michael, and you will be able to ask any questions you want. Okay, don't be so tough with your questions. It can be personal, it can be risk management, it can be how far I'm good in tennis, I don't know. Can be a lot of things, so will be funny. We will bring also a little bit of seriousness with trading and markets. So yeah, we will wait for you next Tuesday, this time into our YouTube channel. Again, guys, for today it's the end. So thank you for being with me. Wish you a nice end of the week, and see you soon, guys. Goodbye.